one which we have to know with, right? So user discovery is the first one. Second one is called ETL. Because ETL is a process which normally we call it as extract, transformation, and load. This is what generally ETL stands for. ETL process means if you want to transform any data, so there are three steps. One is extracting of data is required, because irrespective of the type of data which is involved in it, right? So whatever the kind of data we have, either this data is in the format of XML or this format, it is something in the format of JSON or something of that sort. Extraction of the data is important. How you are going to extract it, this is important. Okay. Next, whatever the transaction of extraction we have done for the data, that has to be transformed. Transform into the new format. What is that we are developing? Let's say there is a format of data which was existed in the XML. Let us assume that. Okay. Now, whenever we want to transform XML format data towards JSON format, for example, right? So what is that we required? We need to have a knowledge over the transformation process. Because how are we going to transform the data? This is what something we have to be known with. After transformation, the next about we call it as a load. Load means whatever the new applications are we developing, whatever the new systems we are developing, and how are we going to load this data is something essentially important when we are working on. So whenever we want to follow a data migration process, the very first thing what is that we need to do is to have a knowledge over the user discovery. Now the second one about ETL, which is stands for extracting, transformational load. This is the second one. Now the third point is all about vendor output creation. The third one is called vendor output creation. I'll explain you the detailed part. You can write a notes of it. Okay, madam? Okay. You can write a note.
User discovery ante user evara enti ana.
Right. So user evara anedi user discovery kindiki vastundi usually, right? Okay. So who is user and all everything is what generally user discovery stands for. Next, testing and go live, right? So these are the things. Now you write down under user discovery. What is user discovery? You please write down. Because whenever we want to do data migration process, especially for any application development, so being a business analyst, these are the four phases which we have to know with. One is user discovery. Second, ETL, which stands for extract, transform, and load of data. Third, vendor output creation, followed by testing and go live. Now, first under user discovery, you write down. During the process of user discovery, please write down, madam.
Yeah.
During the process of user discovery, there are 2 points will work. There are 2 points will work with legacy application users, and IT department, with your legacy application users and IT department, to determine the scope of the data migration. To determine the scope of the data migration, comma, continuation. This includes, comma, continuation. This includes, comma, continuation. This includes review any image, any image and document requirements. Understood, madam? right?
Okay.
Right? So user discovery means whoever the users are about to use this application, that we have to identify here. Understood? Users. Users nothing but people who uses this application. Those people we have to use. Understand? Normally, these users will be categorized into two different parts. One is external users, second is internal users. So who are external users? People who are using this application from outside. Those we call it as external users. Now, the second one is called internal users. Internal users means within the organization, whoever is using this application, those we call it as internal users. Understood, madam? Clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So this is the first thing we have to do. When there is a data migration process we are following, the very first thing what is that we have to do is to identify the user discovery. Next one, ETL. Please write down.
Okay.
This process includes, write down under ETL. ETL stands for extract, transformation, and load of data. Okay. That please write down.
Yes.
This process includes the setup of a staging environment, for data migration. Comma. In this, we extract the data. In this, we extract the data from the existing system. In this, we extract the data from the existing system and load the information into the staging database to clean and transform the information prior to uploading to the new system. Comma, continuation. So that we will locate and extract or migrate any existing documents or images. Okay, so this is what generally ETL process. That's what I said. When we talk about ETL process of extracting the data, transforming and loading the data from legacy systems to the new application. Okay, existing system, nothing but the legacy application. Understood, right?
Yeah.
Third
so
point.
Images in the sense, are the UI
It can
screens?
Yeah, it can be of any image, right? It can be of healthcare images, whatever the scannings, right? So all these things, this can be of anything, right? Images can be of anything, madam. Okay. Because it's not only document data, but images is also required. That's what we need to understand. The third point, vendor output creation. Please write down. There is a 2-point there is a 2 point which will work with new vendor, which will work with new vendor to output the required data into the format they specify, which includes
Yes.
converting documents and images to formats supported by the new vendor as required by the new vendor as required. Understood? Clear or not?
Yeah.
Right? So this is where generally vendor output creation will be mainly useful. Clear? Understood? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Next, last but not least, testing and go live. In this based on the timeline and live data discussed during the user discovery call. So that related team work within the schedule to load the data into our staging environment for iterative testing until it's approved. In continuation of that, arranging the final extract and processing to go live. to go
Live.
live. Understood, madam?
Yeah. Yes.
Understood or not? Right?
Yeah.
So these are the 4 steps which are involved, especially whenever we are working on the
Data migration.
data migration process. So being a business analyst, whenever we are working on the application, especially when the projects we are working, especially on the data migration, these are the core basic steps which being a business analyst, we must be good and familiar with.
Okay.
Understood, madam? Clear?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's
Right.
clear.
So if someone is asking you in reference to the data migration process being a business analyst, if you want to explain anything of that sort, right? So this is what generally one has to be explained. Clear to
Okay.
you now? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is where generally we need to understand in reference to the data migration process. So this data migration process, it can be from legacy systems to the new applications, or else old applications, old existing application to the new application, whatever the application process are we going to follow, so that whatever the steps we have discussed so far or something. Understood, madam? Clear?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is what complete understanding over uh, data migration process. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood, madam? Clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Now we are discussing about pair administrative system. Okay. You can write
Okay.
pair administrative system. Pair administrative system, we also call it as core healthcare applications. It can be Health Edge, it can be our facets applications, right? So these are all something which normally we call it as pair administrative systems are all about. Whatever the administrative process we require to follow whenever we are working on pair levels and all everything. So we need to know about pair administration system well in advance, because this is completely focuses on different areas. One is about claims related stuff. It can be, it is not only claims and all. It can be relating to even subscriptions, right? So these areas and all everything will be provided when we are working on the pair administrative system. Understood, madam? Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, in this pair administrative system, we can use any application, because either because if you want to adjudicate the claims, right? So you just write down some points. Pair administrative system, which is also called as, please write down, which is also
Okay.
called as core claims and administrative systems. Core claims or administrative systems used by the health plans, to process and pay,
Yes.
to process and pay claims, comma, enrollment of health plan members, and managing payer production lines. pair production lines. Pair production lines means usually this benefit plan offerings. Okay, so all these
Okay.
things are comes under pair production lines are all about. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can write down different products. What are the different pair core administrative products we have, right? So you can write down the list of it. Of course,
Okay.
as in when we are focusing more on facets, but it is important for us to know about not only facets, because we
Right.
must be knowing about others also. One is Athena Health. Athena Health is one. Athena Health is one. Next is Health Edge. Next is Health Edge.
Health.
Third one, Trezito Core Administrative Solutions, because whatever facets, QNext, all these are comes under this category. Okay, Trezito Core Administration Health Solutions.
Okay.
Next, followed by Skygen Core Administrative Solutions.
Skygen.
Skygen.
Gen. Gen.
SKYGEN. GEN. Skygen.
Okay.
So these are the different core administrative applications we are using. Okay.
Okay.
So when someone is expecting us to have an idea over being a business analyst, if someone is asking us pair administrative, you just tell them that you have used Trezito, because Trezito facets, that's what we have discussed, right? So facets is what we have discussed. So you can claim that Trezito facets is what core application system I have used for the purpose of managing the claim processing, adjudication, all that. Okay, madam, clear?
Okay.
So this is what the overall idea over the pair administrative system, all that. Now, when we talk about pair administrative system, process, when we talk about process, you just log off and just log off and log in again, please.
Okay.
Please log off and log in again.